call the East China Township Board meeting for December 18th, 2023 to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote, Supervisor Westrick?
Yeah, here.
Clerk Smith? Here. Treasurer Hart?
Here.
Trustee Blackstock?
Here.
Trustee Knotts?
Yeah.
Trustee Richley, Trustee Babel are absent.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There he is.
You're late.
Mark that down in there, we already called the roll.
Well, I think everyone heard.
agenda. We just have to add one thing. I don't have a handout, it's pretty straightforward. We usually get a block of hours for our service provider for the tech, which is high tech. At the end of the year, we're gonna cut it down to just 10 hours. But anyway, that's a new business item, is the agreement for high tech system block services for our.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to try that a little bit louder. I already turned them up, I still can't
Are
hear you.
you adding something?
Yeah, new business number
business
9.
9?
High-tech service system agreement, or
Okay,
block
thank you.
hours. We get them every year, but we're back off. And I think that's it. New business 9, high-tech service.
High-tech service agreement.
Well, the only problem with this, my highest new business one is 1.
We have even,
Wait a minute. Oh, there's the notes.
I don't have a handout for it, Ralph.
I'll get it here in a minute. New business 9 is
High-tech service system.
high-tech service, okay.
With that, I'd take a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Support.
Mr. Blackstock and supported by Ms. Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Minutes, same thing. A chance to look them over. If everybody's okay, I entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr.
Support.
Richley, supported by Mr. Knotts. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Presentations. Ms. Ibula from the East China School District.
Good evening. My name is Angie Gleason. I'm the finance director with East China School District. Mrs. Saibula was just running a little late, coming from our board meeting at
that's
the
right,
school
your meeting,
district this evening. So
We want to move that down a little bit, or are you okay?
I think I'm okay.
Okay.
If you guys are okay with it.
Yeah, we could move it down a little bit if you want to, but if you're okay with it, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right.
Yep. Okay, so I'm here tonight to share with our voters about some ballot language that will be on the February 27th ballot. What that entails is our operating millage for East China School District. It includes language to renew our 18 mills that that is a current levy that non-homestead property owners pay this tax. So this levy, this 18 mills, what that means to East China School District is it brings in about $13 to $14 million to the district, and it's about 30% of our operating dollars. And what the operating dollars fund are things like curriculum, our day-to-day operations, our salaries and benefits, our upkeep of our facilities, meaning like cleaning and custodial staff and things like that. This is a 9-year renewal, which is exactly the same levy that we currently have.
This is a renewal of Proposal A?
I'm sorry, say that again?
This is a renewal of Proposal A?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, correct. Are there any questions that I may have missed? I feel like I skipped around a little bit, but
Any changes
Pretty
proposed?
standard.
there are no changes. It's exactly
Just
the
extending the
same.
time frame?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
9 more years.
That's the only question I had.
Okay.
Mr. Ridgely?
So I'm not against it whatsoever. I think it's a good thing that obviously people need to vote yes on it unless they want to bankrupt the school district. But the problem that I have with, I'm voting yes, but the problem that I have, and I hope that you'll take this back to the school board. Obviously I was at the last board meeting, but basically the timing of it. When we were on the board back in 2016, we talked about putting it on in November. And then also, the other issue that I have with it is that it's a 9-year instead of a 10. And then, which thankfully the superintendent, she called me to talk to me about that. And so you guys are going to be putting it on 2032 instead of 33,
Right.
which is good.
Yes.
But in my opinion, it should be on paper, that it's, in my opinion, because just like back in 2016, they were like, oh, it's going to be in November. And they're doing it in February. So it's kind of,
Right.
I know that's out of your control, but
Yeah.
that's kind of goofy the way that they, so.
Yeah.
But,
Thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
We do have a list of updates that the district has undergone. Are you interested in, can we maybe share those, or
Of what? I'm sorry.
just the updates, some updates that we have?
Sure.
Go ahead. Okay.
Did you fix the backboard at St. Clair High School's gym?
Yeah.
For the second time, we're going to replace them.
Heard about that one.
I think we're going viral on that one. So I'm Dawn Demick. I'm the Assistant Superintendent for the East China School District. And I just want to thank you all for allowing us to speak tonight on the operating millage and some of the exciting things that we do have going on in the school district. As far as our construction update, you may be aware, as a result of our previous bond update, we have new technology throughout the entire school district, which has allowed us to have Chromebooks for every student. So at the elementary level, they have Chromebooks in the classrooms that they can use, and they're assigned to the children. The upper elementary are able to take them home, and at the middle school and high school levels, they do have one-to-one Chromebooks. So they are assigned to the students. They use them throughout their career with East China, and then they're actually able to keep them at the end of when they graduate as seniors. So that's pretty exciting. All of our classrooms have new teaching technology that includes smart TVs, dual monitors, document cameras, all the things that teachers are using now for that technology to provide the students with the latest and greatest updates in regards to their education. I'm sure you've all seen our new Innovation Center over at our Meisner Road campus where our administration building is. The Innovation Center allows us to offer classes for both high schools. Some of the classes that we're not able to offer because of smaller class sizes at each of the buildings, but once we bring them together over at our Innovation Center, we're able to offer those classes that otherwise wouldn't be able to be offered, such as our engineering classes, our Project Lead the Way classes, and several of our advanced placement curriculum. So we're very excited to be able to offer that. That just opened this fall, and it's been running great this year, and we're happy to have kids in our building. And a couple years ago, we added the new road off of King Road to provide more safety and security to our stadium and to our Performing Arts Center and the administration complex. So that new access road has provided for, I think it really made the Sheriff's Department happy to have that second entrance and exit out of the area. Renovation of the bathrooms and the concession stand at the stadium, as well as new tennis courts being installed at the Marine City campus. Bell River Elementary, much needed, new parking lot. I don't know if you had been there the last several years, but that parking lot was in dire need of repairs and replacement, and we were able to do that this year. Over at the Marine City campus, our 612 secondary campus there, we have renovated 10 classrooms so far. Within those classrooms, we've also renovated the counseling and administrative offices, adding the safe and secure entrance at the building. So now parents have more of a sense of security that we're sending their children to school there, and everyone is having to go through that safe and secure entrance, being able to go into the building. The cafeteria is currently under renovation. We will hopefully have that completed over Christmas break, and so when the students return in January, they'll have a whole new cafeteria experience. The Media Center, also known as the Knowledge Center at the Marine City campus, is completely being renovated and will be open again shortly in January, which will provide an additional space, STEM learning center for our students. So we're very excited about that, as well as new parking lot and lights on the east side of the school to enhance security there. At the St. Clair High campus, as was mentioned, we have a brand new beautiful gym that just recently opened there at St. Clair. New parking lot and lights on the east side of the school and the student parking lot on the west side of the school. In other areas of district interest other than our renovation and construction projects, we have recently hired a safety and school security director. He was hired last February, and in that time, we just recently hired another security specialist who will be joining us in January. And then we hope to use some additional funding for a third security specialist so that we have all the safety enhancements within the buildings that our students deserve. We now have social workers at every one of our buildings. We have academic interventionists at every one of our elementary schools. We now have 2 interventionists at the middle schools as well. That was an add-on this year, as well as teacher consultants at every building. So we are really providing those additional supports within the classrooms to provide the needs and meet the needs of our students. In addition to our own safety and security director and program, we do have a school resource officer from the City of Marine City Police Department who helps at our Marine City end. And in addition, finally, we have been able to purchase additional curriculum materials through ESSER funds. So all of our curriculum throughout the district has been updated, and what has not been updated yet is in the process of being updated, and it had been several years since we were able to do that. So we're very happy and excited to be able to do all that and to offer all of this to our students. Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
Seems like they're keeping busy.
Yes, we are, but we like it that way.
In light of all of the unfortunate things that happen on schools' campuses, you mentioned a security, I don't want to say officer, but a person
Yes.
at Marine City, because you're going to have, or you do have now, actually, the high school and the middle school,
Right.
kind of right there in the campus. St. Clair is going to have that too, right? That's the middle
St.
school's
Clair,
coming to
our
St. Clair?
I'm sorry. Our safety and security director is actually housed out of St. Clair High School, so he is employed directly by the school district, and then the new safety specialist that we just hired will be located at St. Clair Middle School. And then a school resource officer from the City of Marine City is at the Marine City campus.
And when the middle school moves to the campus of the high school in the future?
Yes,
right, that's
then that
happening.
security
That
specialist
security
will.
person, so you'll
yes,
have.
We'll
yeah,
have 2.
That's good. It's tough anymore, what you gotta do, what you gotta do. You really
Yes.
don't know, so
Yeah.
You
I mean,
gotta
just
cover
to
your
have those
bases.
protections in place
Marine
is
City
what is
does have
important for
those?
us.
they have one there, yeah, and the St. Clair's gonna.
Marine
Yes.
Cities as the police officer?
Yes, Marine Cities is through the City of Marine City PD, and it is a school resource officer, and because that's already a 612 campus, they have the one officer at the campus. But as Mr. Rustrick was mentioning, at St. Clair High, we have our safety and security director, and now with the additional security specialist at the middle school, but when they combine, they'll be both coming over to that campus, being that it's a little larger.
Okay, that was it.
Any other questions? Okay, thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
I'm
I'm going
sorry,
to-
I was late, I'm Suzanne Sexton, the superintendent, we had our board meeting tonight as well, and so.
Well, you did better than we are. You started at 7 though, didn't you?
6.
6? Oh, yeah, you didn't do better than we're gonna do. We're gonna do a lot better than that.
Thank you for having us.
Mr. Westrick, may I approach the bench and just
Sure.
share fact
Bench.
sheets? Okay.
There's no bench.
You do have a gavel.
I do have to get with you, though. I need to see your building and the grounds person sometime soon. Just get some stuff our building department needs. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for
Thank you so
coming.
much.
Get one, post on the door, about the village you're doing.
Yeah.
You have line post on it.
No worries.
Yeah, put on a bulletin board.
All right, public comment. Anyone? Consent agenda, C1, financial report, C2 is a Marine City Area Fire Authority run report for November, Marine City Area Fire Authority audit report, and Marine City Area Fire Authority September 2023 meeting minutes. I'm gonna start including those minutes for you guys so you can kind of hear see what's going on, okay? C3 is Park Commission meeting minutes of November, C4 is Historical Commission meeting minutes of November and December. Enter a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I got a question. On the Park Commission minutes, it mentions that Joe Griffiths purchased a property formerly known as the Regatta Bar, and he's gonna be doing things there. One of the things that has been offered is that the East China Township, if you pick up the park alongside the area alongside the current River Park that is in front of Regatta Bar, and add it to the River Park. You probably don't know this.
I
but
do.
This was done once before.
I don't
The
know about that.
owner previously, a gentleman somewhat difficult to work with, offered it for
Approached us.
sale, and we sent out, had it appraised, and made him an offer at the appraisal level or maybe a little bit higher. He promptly counter offered a price of $100,000 more than that. And that was the end of that transaction. So I don't know what this is worth. At that time, we thought it was a good opportunity to improve the river park, because there's no other land, and it abuts our park. I still think it's a good idea. I was gonna recommend it. Perhaps we pursue this in much the same manner as we did before, find out how much it's actually appraised for, and then discuss with the board as to if we really want to go for it.
Well, the Parks Commission's charged with obtaining land for the parks. It's their job.
They can buy land?
Well,
No,
they
they
don't,
don't
they
do it.
have to get the money
No.
from us or somehow, but they are the ones that
Well,
can
the
come with
township
that. And then
board-
obviously come to us with a presentation of we need it or we don't need it or whatever.
The park is never purchased property.
Right.
No, no.
I do know what they're asking for it. I don't think it's even remotely
Exactly.
close to what it's worth.
I just wanted to clarify.
I've driven by it. I don't personally see how much of a benefit we would get from it. But,
We'd get a bigger park on the river, there's very few of them.
yeah, honestly, if it's worth $250,000, then great, but that's something that'll have to comes to the board eventually if that's something that happens that
To
they
my,
decide they want.
to my knowledge, the last time I talked to the guy that was pursuing the property, he still hasn't purchased the property.
No, he
Right.
has not.
Right.
Okay, anyway, I just wanted to bring it to board's attention. It was a good idea a few years ago until the guy tried to hold us up. So I don't know
It's
why
on,
it's,
it's
I
on
don't know
radar
why
now,
it's
and
not
I've
still
been,
a good
I've been
idea.
notified of it, but I don't, again, as Mr. Richard, he doesn't even own it yet to even make an offer to
Okay,
us.
I have nothing further. I just want to point that out, and I don't, if an opportunity does present itself at a reasonable price, I think we should consider doing it.
Right. All right. Entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as
Make a
presented.
motion to accept the consent agenda.
Support.
Moved by clerk, supported by Mr. Richley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Disbursements, Ms. Hart.
We have disbursements, payroll, $56,205.68. Accounts payable, $26,981.60. EFT checks, $71,307.51. E-checks, $604.60. Tax disbursements, $1,569.72. And invoices, $186,373.33, giving a grand total of $343,042.44. I'll make a motion to pay the bills in that amount.
Support.
Been moved and supported by Mr. Knotts. Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote, Supervisor Westrick?
Yes.
Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Hart?
Yes.
Trustee Blackstock?
Yes.
Trustee Knotts?
Yes.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Carried, thank you. Unfinished old business, I have none. New business, one, annual MDOT right-of-way permit resolution. This is something we have to do every year, you guys. Resolution number 19, 2023 will be the new one for next year. And it's pretty much the same as last year. We really don't read it, not required to be read, unless someone needs it. It's on file at the township here. It's the same thing as we approve every year.
I would recommend you read the resolve whereas first paragraph. And
That's
then
what I was
note-
gonna do. Okay, I'll
And
do that
then
for
note
you,
for
Ralph.
our editor
Resolve.
that it's available for reading in detail for anyone that wants to come into the township.
All right, Resolution 19, 2023, performance resolution for municipalities. Resolved whereas the Charter Township of East China, hereinafter referred to as the municipality, periodically applies to the Michigan Department of Transportation, herein referred to as the department, for permits referred to as permit to construct, operate, use, and or maintain facilities or other facilities or conduct other activities on, over, and under state highway right-of-way at various locations within and adjacent to its corporate limits. The details are below that we will not hurt their stuff. simple as that. And this allows us to get our annual permit. Clerk, please call the roll. You gotta
Do we
do-
have a motion and a support?
Oh, well, yeah, Mr. Ritchley moved and I supported. How's that?
Okay. Right, we don't need a roll call.
No,
You don't,
There's no money.
no money.
but it's a resolution. All right,
Okay.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. New business 2 is the 2024 poverty exemption policy guidelines, something we do every year again, updated to 2024. It's a resolution 17-2023, 2023 poverty exemption policy guidelines and application, which are attached. Whereas section 211.7U of the Michigan General Property Tax Act indicates that the principal residence of persons who, in the judgment of the supervisor and board of review, by reason of poverty, are unable to contribute toward the public charges, is eligible for exemption in whole or in part from taxation under this act. Whereas the adoption of the policy and guidelines for poverty exemptions is within the purview of the Township Board, and whereas the guidelines for poverty exemptions previously established by the Township Board on January 17, 2022 are updated annually to reflect changes based on the federal poverty income standards, and therefore be resolved, Board of Review shall follow the above stated policy and federal guidelines in granting or denying an exemption unless the Board of Review determines that there are substantial and compelling reasons why there should be a deviation from the policy and federal guidelines. These are communicated in writing to the claimant. Attached, you'll see calculations and the application guidelines and calculations for the taxable income and the applicant certifications on the back.
I'll move for adoption.
Support.
Moved and supported by Mr. Ritchley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Business 3, Resolution 2023, appointment of building officials, zoning administrator, code inspectors, and ordinance enforcement officers. Again, same thing as before. Pursuant to Section 8B, subsection 6 of still the Rossett Hale Single State Construction Code Act 1972 PA 230 MCLA 125.1508B subsection 6. East China Township has under ordinance 117 as amended elected to administer and enforce the 1972 PA 230 and the Michigan Code. Whereas East China as a designated code officials is listed below to discharge responsibility of the East China Township under 1972 PA 230 and all related township zoning and other ordinances. Therefore, be resolved that Tracy Kalick is hereby appointed as building official, building inspector, zoning administrator for East China Township, charged with the duty of the ensuring, issuing permits, overseeing inspections, and keeping a record of all activities as part of the permanent records of East China Township, and discharging the responsibilities of the enforcing agency for East China Township under the provisions of Michigan's construction codes, in accordance with 1972 PA 230 for the year 2024. Furthermore, it be resolved that Kelly Smith shall be appointed as plumbing mechanical code inspector, and Greg Furtaw as electrical code inspector, and James Schaefer as ordinance enforcement officer for the Charter Township of East China for the year 2024.
I move for adoption.
By Mr. Knotts, supported by Mr. Ritchley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Business 4. Resolution 18-2023, performance and indemnification, very similar to the first one we did for MDOT. This is for St. Clair County Road Commission, whereas East China Township hereinafter recruits the governmental body from time to time makes application to St. Clair County Road Commission, hereinafter referred to as the Department for Permits, hereinafter referred to as permit, to construct, operate, and maintain utility or other facilities, or to conduct other activities on, over, and under county road right-of-ways at various locations within and adjacent to its corporate limits. The following details are on file if anyone wants to take them, but it's just their guidelines that we won't hurt their stuff. They'll get a permit. Entertain motion to approve that one.
Motion to approve.
Ms. Hart? Mr. Blackstock? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? New business 5. Approve us from our wastewater plant supervisor to attend a 2-day wastewater administrators conference presented by the Michigan Water Environmental Association in Frankenmuth, Michigan, January 25th, 26th, 2024, with costs covered by the township as presented. And allocated general GL number and the dollar amount, I believe, was $727.10.
I'm always in favor of
Additionally, this will also be, he gets the ECs or whatever they call them for his license. So
Yeah, can you just continue?
I
See,
move for approve this motion.
support.
Mr. Knotts, Ms. Hart. Comments, questions, please call.
Roll call vote. Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Hart?
Yes.
Trustee Blackstock? Trustee Knotts?
Yes.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Supervisor Westrick?
Yes. Carrie, thank you. New business 6. Historical Commission member, with your blessing, I would like to appoint Andrea Harrington.
Could you spell that one, please?
Yeah, ANDREAHARRINGTON.
Thank you.
She submitted a application to be on one of the boards, and I did go over it with one of our parks people, or historical commission people, sorry, with Deb. And with your blessing, I'd like to make a motion that we approve her as historical commission
So
member.
move.
Support.
Okay, by Mr. Richley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. 7, amend budget, fourth quarter, 2024. You have before you the figures and whatnot. I go through them quick. Resolution 21-2023 is the amend the 2023 budget, quarter 4, as presented here. Whereas East China Township Budgeting and Accounting Practice could stipulate quarterly budget amendments to reflect financial activities during the quarter and to provide the basis for financial controls in future quarters. Whereas financial analysis of all fund accounts indicates a need to amend budgets for general fund and building department fund. Now therefore be resolved that the East China Board of Trustees hereby approves the budget amendments for the fourth quarter of 2023 as follows and in detail in Exhibit A. General fund, our revenue increased by $72,261. Our expenses increased by $62,920. Building department revenue increased by $21,500 and expenses increased by $10,300. CWSRF, our capital improvement fund for the sewer lining revenue, we inputted the money to cover the interest for that for the year of $71,258. And we're adjusting our expenses to actual, which we haven't spent a lot on that yet, to $8,687. So we got to adjust the figure down by $62,571 to equal what we've actually spent. Same thing on the drinking water side. Interest, we have to input the money from there from the capital bonds that we were talking about earlier this year, $142,348. And we've only expended $13,768 on interest to that so far, thank God. So we need to adjust that figure down by $128,580, you guys.
Very good.
Yep, capital projects, revenue, we increased the revenue by $115,920 as detailed on the back. The Wilson grant mainly for the bike path. So we had to input that figure in there from the money that we got, okay?
I think you ought to make the motion.
So, therefore, that's the figures on that, so I'd entertain a motion to approve, since you did this, right?
Well, no. Corinne,
I
you
know,
said that. Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the fourth quarter budget amendments for 2023, Resolution 21-2023.
That was presented, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there support to that
Support.
by Ms. Smith? Any questions? Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote. Supervisor Westrick?
Yes.
Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Hart?
Yes.
Trustee Blackstock? Trustee Knotts?
Yes.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Thank you. New business 8, resolution, pay rates for boards, commissions, and authority members. Revisited this again this year. Resolution 20-2023 is revised pay rates for East China Township boards, commissions, and authority members. Whereas good financial management recommends having a single resolution stipulating boards, commission, and authority member pay rates, which can be more easily reviewed and renewed annually. And whereas not all boards, commission, authorities, and councils to which members of the community or board members are appointed or who serve as the township's designated representative were included in the previous resolution or pay rates, needed to additional clarification. Now therefore be it resolved that the Township Board of Trustees establishes the following pay rates for all East China Township Board and Commission members, authority members, and board of trustee members serving as official representatives to non-township advisory commissions, councils, or governmental organizations. These pay rates do not include any annual pay rates for the township board of trustee members, regular township board meetings. Park Commission, Planning Commission, and ZBA commissions, the chair is $30 per meeting, secretary is $25, and the members are $25 per meeting. Historical Commission follows suit, chair $30 per meeting, secretary $30 per meeting, members $25 per meeting. St. Clair River Sewer and Water Authority, $30 meeting for chair, secretary $30 per meeting, members $25 per meeting. Township Board of Review, members $25 per meeting, $10 per hour after the first hour. Non-Township Council Advisory Commission, Governmental Agency Board appointed member, $25 per meeting.
I have a question. Did
Be
you-
it further resolved that the pay rate shown above shall be in effect on the date that this resolution is adopted. Now, Mr. Knotts, you have a question.
Could you further define or give me an example of a non-township council advisory commission government agency?
Should we ever have one? I could.
It would be like your fire authorities.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
Fire
yeah.
authorities.
fire
The
authority?
Fire Authority members.
Okay, thank you.
Was that one good enough, Ralph?
That's
That work?
fine.
All right.
I make a motion to
I do
approve
have-
resolution 20, I'm sorry. do you
I'm
want to-
sorry, I do have one more
I'm
question.
sorry.
For the first section, the Park Commission, Planning Commission, and ZBA, the secretary says 25, but in all the other ones it says 30. Is there a reason that was?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same
Recording
thing.
secretary for those three boards.
Oh, just those three, okay. That was my next question, where does
What?
she fall in
Yep.
that? Okay.
What's the reason? I've got
We
curious.
have a new recording secretary in place for those.
I
For
have
which ones?
recording secretary, citizen secretary.
Park, planning, and ZBA.
Doesn't have to do the recording stuff, got it.
That's why that one's lower.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I see what you're
But,
saying.
Yeah,
that should be $25 per meeting and then $10 after, isn't it?
well, they're still paying, they still have a secretary on those boards, but they're just not doing the minutes.
It's a separate contract.
Yeah,
So that's not listed in here. I got you.
right.
Gotcha,
Has nothing to do with.
gotcha.
No, but that's why
Yep.
it's less.
It's not a recording secretary. The job of recording secretary is
The separate one.
a little more time consuming.
All right, been moved and supported. Any other questions?
Who made the motion?
Please,
Who
please,
supported it?
You made the motion.
I did.
Mr.
I made
Knox
the
made it.
motion, don't know who
I
supported
don't
it.
remember. And did Nicole?
I
I'll support
interrupted.
it, support.
Okay, thank you.
Couldn't remember.
Of course, it's
Roll
always,
call
You
vote.
should have got
Treasurer
that.
Hart,
Yes.
trustee Blackstock,
Yes.
trustee Nats,
yes.
trustee Richley.
Yes.
Clerk Smith, yes. Supervisor Western.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. A new business 9 we added is a high-tech service. Every year we use these people for their tech services and whatnot, and generally we buy a block of time at a discounted rate at the end of the year to use. I think we bought a 25-hour block last year, and we have just a few hours left on that. And we talked about possibly, maybe looking for some proposals for this, but we want to go ahead and get 10-hour time block to cover us for the first part of the year for
How big of a
$1,600.
block?
10 hours.
You want to buy 10 more? additional
10 hours a
oil?
block at $1,600 is $160 an hour, yep. We don't need these other ones, that are too much money for me. Anyway,
So you want to buy the what one?
we need a 10-hour time block at $1,600 for high-tech systems for service.
And how much do we have left over?
We got like 3 hours or something like that, I think Cindy told me.
And you don't think we'll need another 25 then?
We're gonna need something down the road here, but we don't know if it'll be with this firm. How's that?
Oh,
I was just gonna say, are we happy with their services? Are they on
Yes.
top of it? Are they
Yeah, so this
responsive?
actually, what's left, we purchased in July of 2022. So it's been
Okay.
about 18 months that we've used the 25.
okay.
So this 10, we don't have any large projects anticipated. We do have some server updates to be done early in the part of the year, but that should easily cover this. And then this is just for any other on-site. Otherwise, everything is covered under our managed services
I-
agreement.
I am assuming we're buying the block like this because it's cheaper than, because you can always call them anytime and they'll come in and do it.
Right.
What's the difference?
Well, right now, they're gonna raise their rates after December 31st for those time blocks. So we're trying to get a discount, getting this year's prices before they go up, because we're gonna use the time.
Do we know what it would cost us outside of this block? If we didn't have the
It'd be
block,
another
what would
$10.
it cost us?
That's another $10 an hour.
Right, it's gonna go up $10 an hour for that particular block.
I guess I'm not asking the right question. If you didn't need the block stuff right now, how much would we have to pay if we called them and do a job if you didn't have the block?
If you didn't buy a block.
Oh, I don't have their per hour costs, but it's probably.
Well, according to this, it's $170 an hour
Okay.
right now.
Well,
Yeah.
that,
And we're getting
that's,
it for $160.
that's already discount.
10%
If
discount.
we were to just call them, as a registered customer,
Yeah.
I don't have their rate, but I would say it's 10 to 15% more.
Okay.
On that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's worth it. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say it's.
Yeah, and we're gonna have recent.
And this one, these can be
doing a whole lot of
carried
stuff
over?
with all the internet
Yeah.
and
And,
the
Right.
system, so we don't know what we're gonna be doing down the road for sure.
Yeah, my
understand.
question is, in part of that, with the whole switchover, are they gonna be, I mean, is this 10 hours gonna be used up fast? Do they have anything to do with that?
Some of it's gonna need to be to interface, but we felt that 10 hours should be enough.
Okay.
If we have to buy a couple more, we buy a couple more. It's 10
Does
hours.
Right.
does
I
this
just
carry
didn't
over?
know it's
It
I
a
don't, I don't wanna spend
Never
$3,800.
Does it carry over at this
Yeah.
rate that you purchased
Yep,
it?
once we buy it, we own it, it never expires.
Okay, thank you.
If we buy 25 hours and we don't end up using them for a while, we don't get that money back. It's non-refundable.
Say that again.
You buy the block, you don't use the time, you don't get the money back.
I thought she just said it was refundable.
No, it never
rolls
expires.
over.
Doesn't
Rolls
expire.
over, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
That's why we're only going with
I
10.
don't-
So I'm only going with 10,
You
Ralph.
won't
Yeah.
have any problem using up 25 hours worth over the next year or two.
So, is there,
But we're only doing 10.
we're doing 10. Is there a motion? Move that
So moved.
by Mr. Ridgely. Is there support?
Support.
Mr. Blackstock, thank you. Any questions, comments? Clerk, please call.
Roll call vote. Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Hart?
Yes.
Trustee Blackstock?
Yes.
Trustee Knox?
Yes.
Trustee Ridgely?
Yes.
Supervisor Western?
Yes.
25.
Announcements, member comments, anything? I would like to extend our condolences to Deb for
Yeah.
Fred. Tragedy, unexpected, I guess, but so sad for that. We had just talked to him last week about some work at the schoolhouse over there. Anyway.
I do have something.
My condolences as well, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to everyone.
Yes, from all of us. Thank you. I do have a couple little things. So, starting in January, the Township Board will be meeting at 7 p.m. for the duration of 2024.
Unless revised.
The permanent voter applications will be going out in the mail by the end of the week. Those applications, per the state, have all 4 elections on that AV application.
All in
So there
one?
will not be any more applications sent out unless they're individually requested after that time for the year. In addition to that, we are required to mail out postcards for the early voting, 9 days of early voting. So that will be going out probably the week to 2 weeks after that, just so people ask you, we're required to do all that. So those are the little things that are coming about soon. You'll see in the mail.
Does the
So-
state reimburse us for that, for like the postcards and stuff, or no?
I'm not sure on the postcards.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
There's a
Yeah.
figure that they send us, but what it covers probably.
There's a lot of things they're covering.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's one of them, but they're requiring us to do it.
Requirement, don't know if it's covered though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's all I have. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I got a couple, same thing, very sorry for Debbie and her family and Brian and all them, but, anyway, what's the process of people applying for a commission? Because I don't know if you got my email about John, he's interested in serving in the park.
That's just fine that way. Some people
Okay.
do this. There's an application that we do have here on the township. If you want, I would recommend that. Come in, fill
Okay.
out an
I think it's on the
application.
website.
Yeah, so
Okay.
an application would be great. It's got a lot more
Yeah.
information on there, and then you
Right.
can follow up with the person. But yeah, by all means, you know.
Okay. And then, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, we had a Parks and Recreation Master Plan for the 5-year plan. We had a meeting on December 14th, and we covered a lot of stuff. There was the public survey, I think it just closed, right?
On the
And
15th.
so we got quite a few responses, which is good, so
Good.
we're gonna kind of compile that, and so far so good.
You gonna tabulate them results when we have them?
Well, Adam. Adam's gonna do that. He does, he's the brain of the operation, but anyway, just happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everybody, so that's all I got.
Anybody else? Mr. Knopf.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thank you, Mr. Knotts.
Just happy holidays to everybody and
Yep.
condolences to the Babels.
All right,
Absolutely.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
been moved. Is there support?
Support.
Ms. Hart, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you. See you next year.